Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on MRGP, Mercer Gold Corporation. Before I get started, I would like to note to please check my IRP disclaimer. With that being said, let's dig in. The chart's kind of had volume all over the place. Some days are real big, then other days it drops off. But nonetheless, it has been making some nice moves ever since it put in a bottom right down here. If we squish up the chart some, you can see that it initially made a nice big move and then went through this multi-month pullback here, but it seems has now finally found a bottom right around 40 cents and is starting to show some signs of life. Before I go back to a narrow look at the chart over here, I do want to point out that the last time big volume did hit it, check out that price reaction. Some very nice days, and it shot up very nicely. So this chart does show that with proper volume hitting it, it's got the potential to move and move pretty quickly. So if we can get some volume into it, in the approaching weeks, and the potential of it making some nice moves are there if history does repeat itself. So hopefully some solid volume can come in and start to produce what happened here back in early April. So back here, like I talked about, we'd gone through this multi-month pullback, and then we got a nice little candle here. And these candles alone don't mean any sort of reversal or anything like that, because they always need confirmation. However, in this case, we clearly got it. Had this candle, then just a neutral day, and then 2 days in a row with some nice green candles here. Once more, not huge volume, but it goes back to what I was just talking about. It does show that with just even a little bit of volume, you can get some nice price reaction with it. And the key thing that happened on this move was we were able to get above this line right here, which is the 20-day simple moving average. Right now that's valued at 60, and that's going to be the key level that ideally we want to stay above. All the bigger bounce moves always start with maintaining their 20-day, and so far for about the past 2 weeks, week and a half, it's been doing a great job of holding. You can see that here the price hung right around the area, and then it separated from it, and then for the past week it hasn't even come back down here and touched it or tested it. So on that regard, it's been doing a great job of holding the middle Bollinger Band 20-day, and that's exactly what we want to see happen. Now, if this one doesn't hold, we still do have another support down here at the 50-cent level. You can see that it held up the price nicely over here. But if you were to ask me what would be the ideal spot where you'd like to see the chart hold strong as support, I would say the 20-day simple moving average. But once again, the 50-day is still an area of support down here. Now for the fun stuff, let's find the resistance levels where the breakouts occur at. The key level right now that seems would be the area that would really set off what would hopefully be a nice bullish move would be up here at 75 cents. If you look at the price history of the chart, and I'll go over that in just a second, you can see that multiple times the price has come up here and bounced off this 75-cent level. We had a couple times here, another couple times, once there, and then more recently, earlier this week, price came up here and got knocked back down from that level again. So 75-cent level does look pretty stubborn, but the good news with that is, sure, levels can be stubborn, but when stubborn levels are broken, they can really produce some nice pops. So if 75 cents can get pushed through, then looking here at the chart, resistances really clear out, and it could go on a very nice run and hopefully grow some strong legs. And then going back to what I talked about earlier in the video, this chart shows that with an increase in volume, the price can move and get through 75 cents on increasing volume. A nice solid move isn't unrealistic or anything like that. On a shorter term scale, in terms of resistances, you could possibly argue that the 50-day is still going to provide some resistance. Right now that's valued at about 66 cents. I would be in the camp that says, yes, technically it's a resistance since we are below it, but we're so close to it and basically flirting with it right here that I don't think it would take much to get above the 66 cents level. But once again, looking at the chart, you could argue that, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to put up much of a fight with any sort of volume surge that comes in. And then looking also, we have this pullback, but if you want to extend the chart out like this, you can see that besides finding a bottom and moving up, we're also in a nice consolidation pattern. So depending on how you want to look at the chart, you could say that we bottomed out here, or you could kind of just wipe this off and say, I don't really want to count that, and then the majority of the action is just sideways. Either way, the price is still up where it needs to be up here, but just a couple different ways to look at it. Charting's subjective, and there's many ways you can look at it. I personally look at it as the price pulled back here, and this is where it finally put in its bottom, and now it's been making a nice recovery. Or on the same note, you could say that the chart's just been pretty neutral, and within this neutral pattern is now starting to put in higher lows. So we had a low there, and now we have lows up here. So it's quietly putting in higher lows. Both ways are bullish. I mean, any way you slice it, a consolidation pattern like this after the pullback is going to be bullish. Or you could, looking at it as finding a bottom here and now making higher lows, that's bullish in the same regard too. So if there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. But one more time, this was MRGP, Mercer Gold Corporation. Thanks for listening.